iPads are useful for their purpose, but they are no substitute for brains.
All right, here we go.
I have to say, well done, Ray. Well done. Well played, my adversary. Well played.
Phoenix isn't gay, but if he was, he'd pick Fremo.
Oh yeah, he'd be living down there with you in the bunker, man. Woo!
Once you go free, you always do the Z.
Like one day of not going to Duncan, and you could get a controller, a new Xbox, possibly even a cord.
And now here are your technically challenged hosts.
Welcome to BGFG episode 429. I'm your host, Chris Phoenix, and joining me, as always, my brother from another mother, Mr. Fremo Z. How are you doing?
Bah humbug.
Yeah, my week, I was like all excited. I'm like, okay, this is Christmas week. We're going to get a bunch of stuff done. And then I got sick Sunday afternoon. I don't know what I had, some sort of stomach bug or something, but I just started feeling better like this morning. That's why, like,
She
even
been
when
giving you that bright neon green Kool-Aid?
It was. She said it was lemon lime.
Yeah. It's called antifreeze.
Oh, son of a bitch. Damn it. Thought for sure it was something new.
Don't keep drinking that.
I'm going to stop now. That's for sure. So this is our final show for the year, technically. I don't know how final it'll be. Because you never know with us. But this is the show.
Based on the first story, we may not make it to the end of this thing.
Oh, yeah, looking over our shoulder, that's true.
Well,
Yeah,
you might not. I'll be okay.
Yeah. I can hold up in here forever. All right, speaking of that, let's get into this week's news.
BGFG News. You heard it here third.
So one of the wonderful things is here's something to look forward to in 2024. I'm sorry, I'm already laughing, my bad. So 150 of Epstein's friends will be named. How cool is that? New York federal judges ordered that documents pertaining to Epstein will be unsealed. Let me do that again. There's going to be some people taking a vacation overseas. I can guarantee more than 150 people are going to be named. Anyone and everyone.
The only thing I don't like about it is that it's going to include names of victims as well.
Yes.
That I don't think they should. I think they should just leave that out of it. That me personally, but
the law's the law. You have to release all the names. Anyone and everyone that's involved in the trial will have till the first of the year to take legal action to keep them out of the press. So Fremo and I are hoping, I can speak for you on this one, we're hoping that the victims will turn around and get a mouthpiece and file a petition and not have their names thrown out there, which is all well and good. And you know that the people that are accused are definitely going to be lawyering up to do that. But if I remember correctly, court records are public. So why would it matter? If you're releasing certain names, I don't know. It seems very odd. And surprise, this all stems from a suit in 2017 of a spa attendant that was being groomed by Epstein's romantic partner, Giselle Maxwell. And here's the best part. Guess where the victim worked?
when they first met her, she was working at Mar-a-Lago.
That's right. That would be Trump's club in the 90s. She was there. According to the accused, she was approached to be a personal masseuse for Epstein's friends, including Prince Andrew. And she stated in court that she was passed around like a platter of fruit. That's not cool. Like people think, oh, the Epstein thing. You just this is like the perennial trafficking of humans. Outside of slave labor, this is bad, people. Maxwell's already serving.
I'd say this is worse than slave labor.
Yeah, being groomed like that.
Sex trafficking. I mean, at least slave labor. I mean, yeah,
That's not to say it's not bad,
No.
but I mean, you're just straight up being abused and used.
Correct.
And
there's
it's
no
sickening.
way out. Giselle Maxwell is serving 20 years in prison for trafficking right now. I think that's a pretty interesting thing that nobody's like really had a docu-series or anything on that. And we all know what happened to Epstein. Do you remember what happened to him, Free?
Yeah, he accidentally fell into a noose.
Yes, he accidentally fell into a noose. And I wish I put that picture up of Hillary Clinton with a mustache. Should be very interesting January to say the least, because there's going to be people that are hiding or people that are petitioning. And I do believe, and again, I'm probably wrong. I'm basing this all on TV court stuff, but I believe they have to, like, even if you're petitioning to not appear on this document, it's going to appear somewhere. Anything that hits the courts becomes public, as far as I know. The only thing that doesn't is minors. Minors are sealed. So I don't know, but it should be interesting. Nonetheless, in January, it should be really interesting.
Yep.
And I don't know. Epstein definitely did not kill himself. That is not.
No.
That is not a thing. He was there to be kept quiet. So again, January is going to be relatively interesting. Oh, phone calls for Fremo. Drink.
Yeah, let me turn this ringer off. Continue, good sir.
Well, we have to. It wouldn't be a new segment on BGFG if we did not talk about breaches. And the latest breach,
Like leather, corduroy.
not breeches, you redneck. Breaches. It looks like Xfinity got good old Comcast. They notified customers of and I quote, data security incident.
Yeah.
And this, I think 2023, this might be the worst one. And,
This is a big
really,
one.
they had usernames, passwords, contact information, date of birth, and the worst part of it all, the last 4 digits of a social security number. Now, some of you sheeple might be sitting there going, well, it's not the whole social security number. Doesn't matter. For God knows how long, people on the phone have been verifying the last 4, and Fremo's usual response is,
No.
No. See, I remember years ago you said, when they said, can you confirm your last 4? Yep, if you confirm the first 3.
Yeah, if you can give me the first 5, I'll give you the last 4.
Yeah. But the last 4 of their social. And apparently the breach was caused by Citrix, of all things. Now, for those that don't know, Citrix is literally used globally. I believe globally. It is used for every single conference. I mean, it's only recently that things like Zoom and Teams took off. Before that, it was Citrix everything for communicating between a large company. And the fact that the breach was caused by Citrix or a hole in Citrix, what is a problem? And they identified.
They even named it the Citrix bleed.
Yeah.
That's how bad this vulnerability is. It just bleeds information.
And they discovered it in August. They had a patch verified in September, I believe.
Yeah.
And then
early October.
Yeah, early October. And Xfinity said they patched it, but not before somebody got in. I don't know how much I believe that, because you and I know how corporate structures work, and they drag their feet on everything. Because we, as IT people, have the ability to go, oh shit, there's a patch that was just forced down from Citrix. Let me throw that on there overnight. Hit up my boss and go, hey, I'm going home right now. I'm going to go take a nap, lay down, have some dinner, see the family, and then I'm going to come in overnight and I'm going to patch this bitch. Some shit might not work, but we'll deal with that. We have to patch it. And most of the time, you'll have those idiots above us, the millennials, that have no idea what the fuck's going on. And they'll be like, oh, I can't authorize overtime like that. That's just not something we can do. We need to test it, make sure it works on everything. This is a fucking hole, asshat. Yeah. We need to fix said hole. But they never do. And according to Xfinity, it's somewhere around 38 million customers that are affected. Let me reiterate. 38 million people just got compromised of their usernames, passwords. We know how many people use at least I do, because that's my job. Know how many people use their username and passwords on every single site. Same thing.
Yeah.
Contact information, date of birth, and the last four of the social. It takes one phone call that sounds convincing for somebody to say, "Hi, this is such and such. We just want to confirm a few pieces of information for your Fidelity investment or your Citibank. We do see that your date of birth is this, and the last four is this. We just want to real easy to do. Real easy to do. And
And the funny thing is, they have 32 million broadband subscribers, and the breach was larger than that. So that literally means anyone that has Comcast for anything
Comcast Xfinity, yeah.
got hacked.
Yeah, so even if you just subscribe to their mobile service, because they do have a mobile phone service.
Yeah.
Was it called MDA? And they weren't the only free. They weren't the only ones. Like, I think that's the worst one this year, but they weren't the only ones.
No,
I'm not.
the Citrix one was bad, real bad.
But VF Corporation also got pinched, and you might not know who VF Corporation is because we're middle class. But if you don't recognize their name, they're the owners of Supreme, Vans, North Face, Timberland. That's just to name a few.
Yeah.
And that company,
Jan Sport, Dickies.
right? This is huge because even if you go, oh, Dickies, well, you got Supreme and Vans and North Face, but then you have a lot of other people get Timberlands. They still get Timberland boots, but you have corporations and companies that buy into Dickies and some JanSport and Timberlands for their work attire. I mean, that's what they do, and they might have a business account, and they've been compromised as well. And the company doesn't even know yet how much data or how it happened.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought. The ideas of the Supreme people, those people are unique as it is. So the fact that they got compromised, it's a tough time.
Yeah, I mean, they literally got hacked like a week ago.
Imagine all the names that they got.
They don't even know the extent of it yet.
No.
They first detected it on the 13th of December. So they don't know how long they've been vulnerable. 2, they don't have a clue yet what's actually been accessed.
Right.
I mean,
you can't buy anything online from them, for most of those retailers or for most of those companies direct right now. You should be able to get whatever's in the stock. It's kind of like what's going on with Apple right now. I didn't put this in the show notes, but Apple, I think the company's name was Miyamoto, said threw Apple a lawsuit and said, yeah, you're infringing upon our watch technology. And Apple said, oh, we're just going to sick the lawyers on them. And Miyamoto said, that's not going to work this time. We've got patents that are filed for a long time that you need to change your shit. So right now, you're not going to get any new stock of Apple Watches, any retailer. And whatever retailers have in the store right now is all they're going to sell. And as soon as the news broke, you look at eBay and some people are selling the newest Apple Watch for like $3,000. I'm like, you're an idiot. And it's
if you buy it, you're an idiot.
Well, there's going to be a sucker born every minute. Let's not forget, Apple was the one that had the app for $1,000, $999 on their app store that did nothing. It was just a status symbol, and they sold like 4 of them. I'd be okay with that. $4,000 real quick. I'm good. So, wrapping up the news, because there wasn't a lot of news. It's Christmas time, and then kind of holding back. Wrapping up the news, we got to say goodbye to Toshiba. Toshiba is
Potentially.
No, there's no. Well, I know what you mean, but they've been delisted on the Tokyo Stock Exchange after 74 years.
Yeah,
being delisted is a big deal. If you're being delisted, then your company ain't worth jack squat. And yes, they had investors that invested into the company, but I mean, come on,
they're being bought out by private interests, so their stock is basically worthless.
But I mean, is anybody going to miss their hard drives? Anyone at all? Those hard drives are pretty garbage, and they were in everything.
Yeah,
from the Xbox 360.
They actually at one point had a very solid hard drive, but then early on, Early
Okay.
on, before when Toshiba was just Toshiba and they were just putting the hard drives in their stuff,
Yeah.
those were good hard drives. Somebody decided to ramp up their production and say, "Hey, let's put these in everything," and that's when the quality of them went downhill drastically and
Yeah.
continued to decline. They never recovered.
No. I think one of the biggest things, I think, in my opinion, because not a lot of people looked into their hard drives on their laptops. It was mostly us IT people that knew. But I think the real big hit to them, honestly, was the Xbox. The Toshiba drives that were in the Xbox were known to fail regularly.
Yeah.
And fail hard. Like you couldn't get data from them. They were rough. And give Toshiba a little bit of credit. They were making drives, they were making batteries, they were making chips. They even had a hand in nuclear and defense equipment. So Toshiba's been a lot of places. And like any company, I think they got bigger too quickly. They took on more than they could handle. And their production value went down. And you can see that happening with like companies like Dell. They had a spurt about 5-6 years ago where they were garbage. I mean, nothing was coming from Dell that was even worthwhile.
Oh no, I would say longer than that they've been putting out garbage.
I think
20 years ago, Dells were rock solid.
Yeah, I think they get back there.
About 10 years ago, I
No.
wouldn't have recommended one, and since then they've gotten worse.
Oh, I think they've gotten slightly better. They're not as bad. I think HP's on that downfall right now, though.
Oh yeah, HP's in a free fall.
Oh my gosh! Between their printers, I didn't know this until recently, but and I don't know why I didn't. But until recently, I found out that HP printer, say if your printer dies, you come to a big box store, you get another one, same model because you liked it, you get it home. The ink that you were using in there does not work on that new printer at all. It comes up with an error immediately. You have to buy brand new ink, regardless. So if you have a HP Instant Ink and you're getting ink stocked up at your house, you can't use that for another printer. It's married to that printer that's broken.
Yep.
And then as for their laptops, they have so many fucking SKUs at this point that it's ridiculous. I've tried ordering parts for computers that were 2 years old and they will not ship them. They're like, nope, don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's a little bit.
And that's what I hated years ago when Compaq got bought by HP. Got absorbed by HP. Because Compaq made some rock solid equipment, and as soon as they did that, I was like, done.
Yeah, you can't count on that stuff. Okay, so that's about it for news. Let's get into our wonderful, just whipping through this show today. Oh my gosh. Get into this week's music, which is our last Christmas song. I feel it's one of the best for our generation because it really nails our generation, in my opinion. Is from Bob Rivers, Comedy Special, and it's called The 12 Pains of Christmas. Then on the other side, we'll do some quick stick style, and then we'll get into our our wonderful gifts.
We got some good ones.
We do. All right, so this is the 12 Pains of Christmas, and we'll catch you on the other side for stick style and the beer of the week.
The first thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me is finding a Christmas tree. The second thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
rigging up the lights
and finding a Christmas tree. The third thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
hangovers, rigging up the lights
and finding a Christmas tree. The fourth thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
sending Christmas cards, hangovers, rigging up the lights
and finding a Christmas tree. The fifth thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me, 5 months of bills,
sending Christmas cards, hangovers, rigging up the lights
and finding a Christmas tree. The sixth thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
facing my in-laws,
5 months of bills.
Oh, I hate those Christmas cards. Hangovers, rigging up these lights
and finding a Christmas tree. The seventh thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me,
the salvation Christmas cards.
Oh, jeez.
I'm trying to rig up these lights.
And finding a Christmas tree. The eighth thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me.
I want Transformer for Christmas.
Charities, and what do you mean your in-laws?
5 months of bills.
Making out these cards.
Oh, Edith, get me up here, huh?
Well, we have no extension cords.
Finding a Christmas tree. The ninth thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me.
Finding parking spaces.
Daddy, I want some candy.
Donations.
Facing my in-laws.
5 months of bills.
Writing out those Christmas cards.
Hangovers.
Now why the hell are they blinking?
And finding a Christmas tree. The 10th thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me.
Battery's not included.
No parking spaces.
Buy me something.
Get a job, you bum.
Facing the in-laws.
5 months of bills.
Yo ho, sending Christmas cards.
Oh, jeez, look at this.
One light goes out, they all go out.
And finding a Christmas tree. The 11th thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me.
Stale TV special.
Battery's not included.
No parking spaces.
Oh my God, go to the bathroom.
Charities.
She's a witch, I hate her.
5 months of bills.
Oh, I don't even know half these people.
Who's got the toilet paper,
Get a
huh?
flashlight and blow a fuse.
And finding a Christmas tree. The 12th thing at Christmas that's such a pain to me.
Singing Christmas carols. Stale TV special.
Battery's not included.
No parking. Charities.
Gotta make them dinner.
5 months of bills.
I'm not sending them this year, that's it.
Shut up, you.
Fine, you're so smart, you ring up the lights.
And finding a Christmas tree.
I don't know anybody that can't relate to a few of those. I don't know anybody. And the Christmas lights ones, of course, is the best one.
Most.
The Christmas light one is my
Yeah.
my
No
ex-father-in-law.
extension cords.
Yo, so smart, you ring them up. My ex-father-in-law used the big bulbs that were like that. One goes out, they all go out, and he would just be at that shit all day long. Didn't take him long to put them up, but then troubleshooting,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
commandeering your extension cord that you were using in the garage. What do you mean you need that? I need it. You can go to the store and get another one. All right, so what are you drinking today? I have a blonde leafy. Fine German beer. Enjoy it. What do you got? Oh, the Rolling Rock. Still get that 12-pack, don't you?
It was more than a 12-pack, but yeah, I'm still working on it.
Cheers. Oh, that's good. Oh, wash it down with some whiskey.
It's so light and crisp and refreshing.
Yes, Rolling Rock is a fine beer. Let's get into the gaming section.
Gaming.
And it seems like every week we talk about one of Fremo's favorite companies, Sony. But unfortunately, Xbox has it under control. Microsoft knows what the fuck they're doing. They're just on cruise control right now. And I get people that come into the shop all the time and they're like, oh, what would you get? I'm like, okay, so, yeah, the PlayStation's a finer machine, but your kid's going to have a lot more fun with the Xbox. A lot more fun. It's just no way around it. And
why? Because of stuff like this.
Exactly. Sony's got a new
I
patent.
mean, what? Go ahead.
Sony's got a new patent out, and the patent covers game difficulty adaptation in real time depending on the player's skill level. Let me just repeat that for the gamers out there. This patent covers game difficulty adaption in real time depending on the player's skill level. They filed this on December 7th, and this doesn't mean it's coming out right away, but it does mean that they're thinking about it. This is the dumbest shit I think I've heard in a long time. So let's just say that I don't know about you, when I do a game review, I put it on either normal or easy, just to get through the game, get the feel of the game, and then I'll go back if I want to replay it. I'll play it harder. One of my sons plays at the hardest difficulty every single time. Kudos to him. Takes him forever to finish a game, but he's extremely skilled when he gets done with it. I don't know how this is going to work, because when I've played games, as the game progresses, it gets progressively harder, which is why they have boss battles. Every game's got a boss battle. So if I'm playing, if there's 10 levels and the 10th is the boss, stop looking so moot. If I'm playing 10 levels and the 10th level is the boss, it's going to get progressively harder.
This is just total idiocy. If this catches on, I'm going to quit being a gamer.
I would hate to see that, because you are a man of your word. I don't disagree with you, except for the stop gaming forever thing. But if you're grinding a game, like I was saying, your boss battle's at level 10 and you're progressing, it gets progressively harder. Look at Shadows of Mordor is a good example.
I mean, okay, think of it this way. What fun will Horde be in Gears of War?
Yeah, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. If it was adapting.
These guys are having difficulty getting past level 27, so let's drop everything down a little bit so they can progress. No!
Right. And it goes the opposite direction too. If we just completely fly through the first 30, 35 levels like we have, they're going to be like, "Oh, okay, so there's 50 levels, but you guys are acing the first 30. We're going to make the next 10 ridiculously hard." That's not good. I don't agree with this.
You know what? I'm
anyway.
okay with that, going in that direction with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's going to force you to become a better gamer. The whole, let's make it easier on the fly because little Jimmy's having a problem. No, it's freaking participation trophy crap, and I'm not down with it.
Okay, I don't disagree with you on that. The participation trophy thing, I don't. But if I'm playing a game that goes up to level 50, and don't worry, people, if you're following Stick Style, I can almost guarantee you that somewhere during this break, probably Christmas, because we've done this before, and it's probably going to be Christmas, the night of Christmas. When everybody's all squared away, we always end up doing Gears of War. Always. And it's fucking worthwhile. So jump in if you get a chance. But other than that plug, if I'm doing that and my level 30 is as hard as level 50, now mind you, we've found a solution to having 2 players get all the way to level 50, but we won't talk about that right now.
Yes, we have. And it is genius.
It is fucking genius that we did that. And we did not break the game. We did not cheat. We did not modify the game. We just figured out a way the fuck it worked. But if we're playing and we're expecting what we do to really kind of what's the word I'm looking for? To really kind of deem itself positive, I guess you could say, at level 40, and we're coasting to level 50, for lack of a better term, then at level 25, the game should not become as difficult as level 50. That's basically what I'm saying. It just shouldn't become like that. It's not a good look. And I could see this happening for like a bunch of games, but like Starfield's a good example. If Fremo and I go down to a planet, and it's not multiplayer, but if Fremo goes down to a planet or I go down to a planet and I have that gun, that regulator that I always want, and I get down to that planet and I completely own all the people on that base and get the artifact, the next base I go to should not be ridiculously difficult. It shouldn't be, because that's what it's a bad idea. Bad idea. But even bigger news from Sony this week.
No, like I said, that's straight up participation trophy crap, and I don't like it. Never will.
I agree with you. Participation trophy.
If you can't handle the game, either spend some more time building your skill set or go back to
lower it down.
Something. Go back to Candy Crush and call yourself a gamer. Whatever.
Oh, I had that conversation with the wife. Was it this morning? This morning or last night? About a person that she knows that's a gamer. And I'm like, what kind of gamer? Because and she's like, what do you mean? I say, well, there's 2 different kinds of gamers. Well, actually 3 different kinds of gamers. There's
one kind of gamer,
No,
and then there's a
hold on.
couple of kinds of wannabes.
okay, hold on. There's the gamer, the gamer's gamer. These are the esports guys. These are the people that literally spend 6 hours playing a game. We know a few in the stick style group that will literally get every achievement on every game, and they're playing it every waking moment. And you know what? That's great. But then you have gamers like myself, my Freemo, most of the people on stick style that just enjoy playing. Like we'll play any game. Like Freemo and I probably after the new year are gonna be playing Baldur's Gate 3 a little bit. We play Starfield now, Gears of War. Freemo doesn't play Halo, but I do. Gran Turismo, Freemo will never play. Forza. So there's all
Why don't
these
we
games
delve into why I won't play Gran Turismo?
because it's on the Sony platform.
Oh, okay. And why won't I play on the Sony platform?
Because I honestly I do not remember why you hate Sony so much. Oh my God. I just remembered. Why, now that I mention this, why do you hate Sony so much when you're basing on their old technology, their old TVs, VCRs, DVD players? Why are you basing your hatred on Sony so badly?
Because when you stab me in the eye, I'm not going to give you the opportunity to take the other one.
So, for those that are listening, maybe for the first couple of times, Freemo and I used to be in this, we're going back like 15, 20 years ago. We were huge Sony fans. Like, that was our brand. Everything I had in my home theater set up was Sony. I had a Sony phone. I mean, there was a lot going on. And then I don't know what happened. They took this like weird turn. Like they just started shitting all over everything. Things became way too expensive and didn't make sense. It was just it was a really bad time. That's where Freemo fell off. And Freemo, like I said at the beginning of the show, is a man of his word. And when he says he's not playing with Sony anymore, he ain't playing with Sony anymore. And that includes the fucking PlayStation. Not to say he hasn't played a PlayStation, but he does not own one. He does not consistently play one, where I have one right there, which is getting no love lately. I got to turn that thing on.
Get digital rights management.
That was a long time ago, Free. You got to let
20
that
years.
go. Yes, that rootkit was 20 years ago, man. You got to let that go. But one of the leaks that we talked about months ago revealed that actually they have a deal going on with Marvel, which I think is kind of incredible.
Here's a new reason not to like Sony.
Wait a minute. Wait. This is going to be a good debate. So Sony's going to be forced to make a good game if they have a contract like this. So they have an exclusive X-Men. They have the exclusivity for X-Men titles in the Marvel Universe until 2035. So they're going to be forced to make a good game. That means the console or PC games also can't reference X-Men.
They won't be forced to do anything. Nobody else will be able to make a good game.
But are you mad at Sony for having an exclusivity title contract?
No,
Is that your
I mean,
bitch?
kudos to them, but they're not going to do anything with it. It's not like it's going to revive or redeem Sony.
Well, they already leaked a Wolverine game clip, I guess you could say, or a trailer for it. That's supposed to be coming out. They have a couple of other games apparently in the works. So your issue is that Sony's doing it, or your issue is that they have the exclusivity of the X-Men franchise?
Just the word Sony in general. What do you think they're really going to be able to pull off with this? When was the last good game?
When was the last what?
Good X-Men game.
Oh shit! Maybe Nintendo 64.
When was the last good X-Men movie that Sony's been in charge of?
Oh, that's debatable. That's debatable. They're not all bad. They're not all great, though.
I'm not saying that any of them are bad, but when was the last really good one?
I liked Days of Future Past. I thought that was good. I can't really say because they're really hit or miss. To me, the X-Men franchise in the movie world is very similar to the Star Trek movie franchise. Like if you look at the original cast, the first Star Trek was fucking awful. Second was epic. Third you kind of dealt with. Fourth was good. Fifth was questionable. Sixth was good. And then they rebooted. Well, they did a couple of, and then they rebooted, and that was again, hit or miss. So I see what you're saying, but at the same time, I'd like to see, again, I want to see them succeed in something. Sony's got to succeed in something. Their architecture and their hardware.
Yeah. they've been succeeding at something for 20-something years, keeping me pissed. Good job, Sony.
Their hardware and their interface is so good. I want them to succeed in something. You can't rest everything on Gran Turismo and God of War. You come out with a God of War game every 5 or 6 years.
They are not the ones that need to have an 11-year exclusivity with a franchise like this. They are not the ones.
I don't disagree, but I want them to succeed. Like I want them to do something.
I'm not saying I want them to fail.
You're such.
I'm not saying that.
Bullshit.
I'm saying I don't think they have the capacity to do
What?
to tap into the potential of what this 11-year exclusivity thing could do for the X-Men franchise and gaming. I just don't think they're going to pull it off.
Okay.
If they do,
that's a
I'll be the
fair
first one
assessment.
to admit that I was wrong.
Would you buy a PlayStation?
No.
If I You didn't even give me a chance. You didn't even give me a chance to say anything.
Go ahead.
Okay.
We'll see if it changes my answer.
If the game turns out to be very well, say they have an X-Men game, kind of like a RPG like Starfield, and they have a Wolverine single player game that's just fucking phenomenal, like a God of War, would you then consider I can't even say it. Would you then consider buying a PlayStation to play those games? If I gave it my endorsement, if I sat there and said, "Well, Free, it's really, this is solid shit, dude. Like, I want to play this for a while."
Yeah, so you're using your knowledge of the fact that Wolverine is like probably my all-time favorite
mine too.
superhero character
Mine too. 100%.
against me in this situation. And if they managed to pull off a Wolverine game that was like you had to play it, then no, I would not buy a PlayStation.
Oh, I almost snorted my whiskey.
It's such a shame you can't see what finger I'm holding up.
I really thought you were going the other
perfectly.
way. I really thought you were going the other way.
Perfectly.
Dick. All right, so the console and PC games can't reference X-Men as a whole. Most of the Sony titles won't be out until 2026 or through 2023 or 2033. That gives me enough time.
Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. That's only 11 years.
So I have 11 years to change your mind.
No, they have 11 years to try and produce a game.
Right, but I have 11 years to change your mind.
Well,
It's been 20.
Yeah, sure. If you think that's gonna happen.
Look, it can't be worse than the fucking Avatar game they just came out with. That is just, we've talked on this show before.
Yeah, and how long did it take him to do that one?
Probably the same amount of time it took Cameron to make the fucking movie. Like 6 years.
They've been working on an Avatar game for 5 years better.
Yeah.
So what are they going to get? 2 X-Men games out?
That's true. That's true. If I could touch upon that for a second.
They're not the people to give that contract to.
I do not disagree.
Unless they're going to go walk into the studio with the guys that do Gods of War and say, "Hey, y'all are done with Gods of War. You're now on to X-Men."
That's what I'm hoping. I mean, that's, I think, what every gamer's hoping right now that they do.
Yeah. Well, do you really think they're going to take their team that develops the only game that is kept them afloat as far as a franchise game? Do you really think they're going to put those guys onto something else?
I do. And here's why. Because the only thing they've had from God of War, not only have you had like
because God of War, as great as the game is and everything else, it's dying.
It is. They just released a like Game Plus mode almost that's just like, oh, okay, great, fucking great. But before we end that particular thing, I just want to say we've tooled on Avatar the movie before, how bullshit it is and how it keeps getting #1 and we don't understand how. I don't know, you didn't know. When we did that show, Neither of us knew anybody that went and saw it. Yet it produced billions of dollars. Like, it's a mystery. This game comes out of nowhere. Nobody's talked about it. Then it gets released, and that was even on TV commercials. And I don't see the appeal. To me, it looks like every other game. They just threw an avatar face over it. Like, there's nothing unique on it at all, which is just absolute bullshit. But moving on. Remember the game Suicide Squad? Kills the Justice League? Do you remember hearing about that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, got pushed back again.
Yeah.
It's now pushed back till March 5th on the Epic Game Store only. And this goes to show you how fucked up Epic is as a company. You are resting everything you have on Fortnite, which is fine. You're really investing a lot of time and effort. You got Lego Fortnite now, which I haven't even tried yet, and I kind of want to. You have their music series built into Fortnite. You bounce back to the original Fortnite stuff, which everybody that's played Fortnite, including myself, agreed was pretty cool. Smaller map, limited weapons. Even some highlights coming out this month from Stick Styles got some Fortnite stuff in it. Not a lot, but some. I don't understand how this is only on the Epic's Game Store. Other platforms are still going to get it a month before on February 5th. Even the early release on January 30th hasn't changed.
Yeah.
So people that purchased it on Epic Game Store will be refunded their money. I'm really at a loss. Like, I did do extensive searching, but I did some quick searches. I don't know how much searching you did. I couldn't find anything that explained why this is being pulled off the Epic Game Store only and pushed back, refunded, and then pushed back to March. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's a platform that allows you to download.
Yeah. I don't get it either. The only thing I can come up with is somebody hurt somebody's feelings. And they're like, fine, I'm going to take my ball and go home.
But where? It's still coming out on the consoles. Does that mean we're going to have a half-assed
I mean, it is,
game?
But
are we going to
I
have
don't
a
know.
half-assed game that needs to have massive updates? And the Epic Game Store is just waiting for the gold release, for lack of a better term?
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. And I don't understand it at all. And finally, in gaming news this week, E3 is finally done.
I figured this would be our first story under not coming down for breakfast.
I thought about that. I really did. I did think about that. E3 is finally done. The Electronic Entertainment Expo is officially dead. And it was on a downfall, no doubt. 2019, Sony, the biggest contributor, backed out completely. And when I say that, people are going to go, oh, yeah, they fucking did. And then that same year, EA declined to hold its own press conference at E3 like they usually did. Now, this was like the CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, but for games. Every company was out there, Sony, EA, everybody was contributing. Everybody had, oh, well, his spot's bigger, so I'm going to make mine louder. It was just a be-all, end-all of video game and the people that are in it. And then many publishers started opting out to do a show on their own, which you can't do now. And 2020, the COVID crisis just killed them because nobody's going to go to the show. People were pulling out left and right. Everybody knew that E3 wasn't going to happen that year, even though they wanted it to. Everybody's pulling out. Nobody wants to be there live because of COVID. And I truly feel that Apple, now, I know how much you hate when I start mentioning Apple, but let's go into what Apple did. Apple, especially during COVID, during their 2 announcements a year, started making it in-house. They built an entire auditorium within their new building just for announcements, and they handle it on their own. And I truly feel, Free, and I think you'll agree, that they kind of spearheaded the whole idea of doing your own shit. Like, they do everything on their own now. They don't go to any other theaters. They don't do any other events. They don't go to any other events. They're just simply do their own announcements and events. And you're seeing EA do that. You're seeing Activision doing that.
Yeah,
You're seeing Sony, PlayStation.
Because of the fact that gaming has moved into the digital realm.
Yeah.
Back when you had the physical copy and you had to distribute it, you had to have those relationships.
That's true.
You had to have someone to promote this, that, and the other. But now with everything being so interconnected online, it's
True.
you download it. That's it. All you got to do now is,
Get the
grease some
YouTube
palms
video.
at Sony or Microsoft or Steam, and boom.
Yeah, and you're on it, and you're there. Yeah, that's true. And then manipulating the algorithm for whatever that would do just to get what you need. It's I don't know. I just hate to see it
So I mean,
go
I hate to
because I
see
enjoyed it.
E3 go because it was a fun time, but nature of the
Oh my
beast.
God! Back in the day on this show, we would be like E3, E3. It was like the only thing that Fremo and I both got excited about. Where I get excited about the Apple event, and Fremo's like, "Oh fuck, here we go again. Maybe I'll be sick this week." The E3 one we actually looked forward to because we would see all these wonderful games.
So the funny thing is several years ago when he did one of his Apple only shows and I participated, he never even realized it was just a cardboard cutout of me in front of the camera.
I didn't. It took a while. And the screen was frozen. I'm like, he's just not saying anything. He's being a dick. All right. Last segment of this week is our holiday shopping guide. And I cannot wait. I've been looking forward to this all week because it's just great shit. Oh, so this week, the final week, right before Christmas, is gifts for others. These are for people you don't really like. This is for getting people pissed off. This is for you getting invited to a party or something that you don't want to be at, or a Secret Santa at work that you just gave your 2 weeks notice. Like there's so many. Hey, there is a good-looking redhead right there.
They're about that big. You want some? No.
What?
I just told her. I was like, "Yeah, I just found you
yeah.
a Christmas gift." She's like, "No."
All right, so let's get to it. First thing up is a cockroach pillow. And you'll see it. This is one of those few shows that you have to watch the video on YouTube or on Twitch for now. Because this is just truly repulsive in a lot of ways. It's a cockroach pillow, and it's a pillow. It's a legit pillow.
They have different size ones too, which I think is great. If you look at the second picture there in the list,
Yeah.
they've got them stacked up,
Yes.
biggest to littlest. It's hilarious.
Is $15 for a regular size or $25 for a large size, and they look just like a cockroach, and they're large. I'm talking like was it 3 feet? I think the large one's like
the big one. The smaller one's about the size of like a normal throw pillow for the corner of the couch.
But still, you get somebody that's high as fuck coming into your room and seeing that shit, they're gonna freak the fuck out. I think it's a decent gift because it's just stupid. And again, this is stupid shit you just would get for somebody you don't really care about or don't like. But we'll get into the one that you're gonna get for people.
Perfect office Secret Santa gift.
Yeah. Next one is the infamous truck nuts. I prefer the brass ones. But come on, people, they're truck nuts. I mean, who likes truck nuts? Even when I see them on the road on rare occasions on the back of a Hummer or something, I'm like, oh, yeah. Douchebag. You're a douchebag 100%. Nobody should want these ever. And the fact that you get them for somebody.
You come down here, you'll see people's homemade ones.
Oh, gosh.
Like 2 softballs and a mesh bag. Tied to the...
They come in black, they come in white, and they come in brass, which is great. But I
blue?
mean, there's
you get some blue truck balls.
You can't get and then it's even better when you give any one of these gifts to somebody that truly is like that person that's like, grandma gave me a bad sweater, but I gotta wear it. Yeah. People might be like, because you're gonna I would keep asking them. I'd be like, oh, did you put on those truck nuts? I didn't see them on the back of your car. No, I hope so. They're $34, but well worth just antagonizing somebody. Another one that's a classic here on BGFG, and we talked about it before on the show, is the Screaming Goat USB, which Fremo and I determined to be brilliant and probably one of the number one gifts that we would give somebody, just being the dicks that we are.
Oh, yeah.
It is the Screaming Goat USB. It's just a little USB, plugs in anywhere that has power, and it screams every 5 minutes or 60 minutes. You pick the switch on the side. As long as it has power, it's going to play. And if you don't know what a Screaming Goat sounds like, don't worry, because I have that sound.
Or do you?
I do. You can't hear it. I don't know why, but I can. And so do our listeners. And it's only $11. And the genius part of this is you just get it, plug it into like the USB back of their computer, and then just let it rip. I would do it for every 60 minutes. That way they don't even know where the fuck it's coming from. It's just a brilliant, brilliant gift. Next up is a scented candle. And I mean scented. I mean, get somebody a scented candle that absolutely sucks. And there's going to be nothing better than them opening the top of the candle when they open the gift and smelling it and smelling what it's truly going to smell like. And for only $9, you can get one that smells like garbage or vomit or poo. Or there's one that I thought was funny. I put it in the show notes directly. And I quote, you work harder than an ugly stripper.
Yeah, I was just looking at that one. I'm not exactly sure what that smells like, but it ain't going to be good.
Oh, it smells like shame and regret. Oh, that's funny shit right there. I don't care who you are. So that is a smelling candle. You can get that for $9. And really, they smell. You can get all sorts of smells. And it's well worth it to have somebody do that. And again, most of these gifts are like, hey, did you use it? Hey, did you smell it? Hey, did you wear it? Hey, did you put that on your vehicle? Like for me in my house, and I hope they come in on time, but it's not looking good. Last year, I sent Fremo a picture. I took a stupid face, like one of those, oh, what the fuck faces, and I put it on wrapping paper, and I wrapped everybody's gifts in it. And all the kids groaned and everything else. I took that same picture this year, and I put it on air fresheners.
Yes.
If it comes in on time, that's what they're getting in their stockings, is the air fresheners that have my face. And I'm just going to be like, hey, did you put that air freshener in? Hey, did you put that air freshener in? Oh, you should really use that air freshener. It smells good. And it does. Like, I didn't get one that smells like ass or anything. I got one that smells good so that they can utilize it. But just seeing my face and having them explain it to their friends is so worth everything. And another thing that I mentioned is, how about a nice nature calendar, Free? What about that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know me. I'm an outdoorsy person. I like
You
being
are an
out in
outdoorsy
nature.
person,
So,
Free. And
you know,
you can have deers in snow, or you can have great waterfalls around the U.S. You can have all those things. But that's not the way BGFG works, is it?
Nope.
No, how about a nice nature calendar of, like, I don't know, nature's dick pics.
I like it.
Which is all the rocks and shit that are formed that look like penises, which is always handy. My personal
Wonderfully
favorite,
phallic natural rock formations.
yeah, 12 months of that. A close runner-up is the dog shitting calendar, which is just random pictures of dog shitting.
I love taking the grand boy with me when we go outside to walk the dogs, because every time one of them does that little hunker thing, he just starts busting out laughing. Pop, dog poo, dog poo. Yep, he's going to the bathroom.
Take a picture. We're making a calendar, son. It is great. It's every month there's a dog hunching over on the bigger picture. Then usually there's a smaller picture in the corner of a different dog hunching over. And the best part is,
I can't wait for him to get old enough to start putting it in brown paper bags.
Lighting it on fire. And there's nothing better than the fact that they did it per month. So, like, spring has them in the spring. In the winter, they're in the snow taking a dump. It's well thought out. Like, I'm tearing up just thinking about it right now.
It's a good calendar.
My favorite calendar to give, if you want to really give that shitty calendar, is a calendar from a former year. So if you could find like a 2018 Grumpy Cat calendar, not only is the cat dead, the meme is dead, but then you have the fact that it's 2018. They're not going to be able to use it at all. At all. $17 gets you something like that, and it's 100% worth it. And again, excuse me, a lot of these are good for the faces alone when somebody opens it. And if you really want to step up your game a bit, you do it as a Secret Santa because they don't know who sent it. So the fact that somebody's opened up a calendar for 2018, they're like, what the fuck? Janet just got a $50 gift card for Cheese Factory. I got a 2018 Grumpy Cat calendar.
Yeah.
That's great, people. If you're on the BGFG, if you're one of the sheeple, that is where it's at right there. 100%. Because anybody that's part of our group and has our mentality and humor is going to laugh their asses off when they open it. Whether it's the dog poo or the old calendar or the tick pics. It's just, I might not put this in my office. Well, probably. Yeah. But it's just going to be worthwhile. You had something?
I was just going to say, if you really want to give a great gift anonymously, beyond Secret Santa.
Yeah.
Poop senders.
We talked about that years ago. Years ago. There is nothing like this on the planet that I know of, people.
Yeah.
If you are listening right now, pay attention. Poop Senders originally was just a site that sent elephant poo. Now, during the research for the show, when Fremo put this in, I looked it up again, and they have definitely made some money because they upgraded their website and everything else.
Oh, yeah, they got different sizes now.
Yeah. So how this works is, before you start wondering, it is poo, and we'll get into that in a second. But it's in a wax box, and that wax box is sealed. So when you crack open the top of the box and you open it, and I don't know if anybody's ever worked in, like, especially seafood and shellfish, which I have, the plastic container inside is attached to the seal on the top of the wax box. So it's not going to leak. It's not going to really smell. But when you open that top, the internal plastic bag opens as well. Put that in your mind for a second, because you can get poop. You can get... You can send somebody anonymously, and I do believe you were the first one to find this. It wasn't even me. You found this originally years ago, probably a decade ago. Like, this company's been around for a while. You can get cow dung for $18. You can get elephant... Wait. You can get elephant dung for $18. You can get gorilla shit for $20. And you can buy it in quarts or gallons. Like quarts or gallons.
And you can do the combo pack where you get a little bit of everything. All just kind of mixed together.
When I was putting the show together and you sent me that link and I put that in here and I pulled up that page, I was still sick at the time. Remember I told you at the beginning of the show I was sick for the week? I started dry heaving from just the pictures. Because again, growing up on a farm sometimes, you would see cow dung all the time. So I know exactly what the texture is, the smell is. I know exactly what that is. So when they show the picture of it, it's just, they don't show a picture of the cow. They show a picture of the shit.
I think the absolute best part of this is on the outside of the package is the message, "You've been pooped on. Want to know by whom?" And you have to turn it over.
Yeah.
Well, to get to the bottom of the card, you have to open the box, and on the back, it's "We'll never tell." Poopsenders.com.
Yep. There's a couple of restrictions. Like, they don't allow you to do certain things because they don't want it to track back at all. It's 3 to 5 days delivery, and it's completely anonymous. So for $20, you can send somebody you completely hate a box of gorilla shit.
Yeah,
and have
and
them open that.
they actually do cash.
Oh, even
Like,
better.
don't use you don't have to use a credit card. You can do like a cash payment if you're actually concerned. But yeah, you can totally anonymously send someone poop.
That is phenomenal. Oh, I love it. Do you have any other gifts for anybody? Any other ideas? Like
No,
the
no.
bad sweater's always been out there. Like I'm good with that. Bad sweater.
I mean, there's always the 6-pack of like beer with like 1 or 2 bottles missing.
Oh yeah, especially when you
You're like, yeah, I got
That's a good one.
thirsty while I was wrapping this. Sorry.
I got, but there's always misses, and look, it's Christmas time, people. You're going to mess up. It's not going to be perfect. It's Christmas.
Yeah,
I'm
just have
sure.
fun with it.
Yeah, the next couple of days into this weekend, I work in retail. It's going to be the second level of hell because people are going to
Well,
be late to buy gifts, and they're going to find
whatever
the
you
Secret
haven't
Santa.
gotten done, don't worry about it. Whatever doesn't hit the way you want it to on Christmas Day, don't worry about it. Because in the grand scheme of things, none of that stuff's really
No, it
important
doesn't.
anyway.
And the people that put the
Spend the
value
time
on
with your family.
exactly. The time with your family is what's important. Whether they're and when you get older, like me and Fremo, they'll be stopping by. They're not there anymore. Like I wish that my kids would sleep over on Christmas Eve and wake up and open gifts and have breakfast. Maybe someday that'll happen. Probably not. But now you wait for them to come over and do your festivities, or maybe you're going to their home because now they're established and they want you to come over to their house. Just enjoy the family time that you have. Don't concern yourself with gifts and material things because it really doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
My wife takes care of, I don't know how your house works. My wife takes care of all the main
On
gifts.
electricity.
Funny. Nice. My wife takes care of all the main gifts. And I sometimes I know about them, sometimes I don't. So I watch the kids open them. I'm like just as excited as they are. But I take care of the stockings and I take pride in that because, like I said, the my face on an air freshener, and I always make sure they have like certain kids have certain things, nail clippers or chapstick or anything. I like doing the things that are useful. So with winter coming around, especially in the Northeast where it gets really frigid, January, February, March, it's important to have stuff in place. And I put those in their stocking stuffers, like the chapstick, the Band-Aids, I know it sounds stupid for Band-Aids, but everybody gets blisters after shoveling up here. So it's Christmas and it's
I know about blisters.
Fremo knows about blisters. It's Christmas and BGFG and me and Fremo are here to tell you that don't take it too seriously, especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
It's really a time to spend with your family because society is the drizzling shits right now. Corporations are the drizzling shits right now. You don't know if you're going to have your job by March. You just don't know. I don't care what industry you're in. You don't know. Greed is abundant everywhere, which is why family values are so important. When Fremo took the time out the other day to go make what you call it, a lean-to,
Yeah.
make a lean-to with his grandkids, that's important. Those are memories that are going to last. I've had times where we've been ready to do the show and I had to back out of the show and we had to do it on a Sunday instead because one of my kids needed me for something irrelevant.
Yeah.
But it's just they needed
And we're
you.
totally okay. We do that with each other all the time. That's why sometimes the show's on Sunday. Because it's like, hey, something's come up. It's like, don't worry about it. We'll hit it Sunday. And there's been times where something came up on Thursday, something came up on Sunday. And,
Correct.
it is what it is.
It's the last show of the year. We want to wish you a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. 2024, I truly feel in my heart of hearts is going to be different for everybody in the world because there's going to be a lot of changes of things. A lot of things hopefully will change. We've had a wonderful year this year in BGFG. We've enjoyed everything. We've had great games on stick style. We've had the same people that are here, even older people that haven't played in a while. Shane, Halo Cruiser have all popped up and started playing again. It's nice to see and it's wonderful to see, and keep your friends close, keep your family closer. go into the new year with a new attitude if you can. Don't worry about what you couldn't do on Christmas, because not everybody's going to be able to do everything. And the fact that you're there and you're trying and you've made an attempt or an effort.
Time is the biggest thing. That's the most precious gift you can give your family, your kids, your wife, your grandkids, whoever it is. The time. Just give them the time. Just be present.
Exactly. If you have elderlies in your family, go grab them, take them home, take them over to your house. You know, hot cocoa, dinner, whatever. I'm not saying they're like homeless people. I'm just saying that don't leave them in the nursing home for that day. You know.
Yeah.
Do what you can. We're probably going to go play something today. And for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be off. I'll throw the holiday the holiday episode up. Freebo and I will probably figure out a time in the next couple of weeks that we're going to sit down and do our holiday show where we actually do all the highlights and talk about the highlights while we're doing them, which is usually a problem. But we're going to do that. We just want everybody to have a safe, happy new year. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We don't ever make any money from this, and we don't want to. We just enjoy doing it. It's an outlet for us. And we entertain the masses and we try to educate the masses. That's what we do. And we enjoy doing it. And we have fun doing it because we're friends. So thank you very much.
You are definitely my friend. Obviously, everybody knows that you hate me, but that's okay.
Yeah, but I hate you for so many different reasons.
When you literally have no other friends, it's okay to be hated by the one friend you do have.
Exactly. That's what I'm always trying to say. I don't even want to know what's in that cooler that you're sipping. Oh, speaking of sipping stuff, you're probably about to get your Christmas holiday moonshine, aren't you? If I remember correctly.
Maybe.
Oh, that should be for entertaining recording right there. That's awesome. So, do you have anything to add for our end of the year?
No. Merry Christmas, happy birthday, Jesus, and everybody have a good new year.
Absolutely. That's it for this week. Tense down, show's over.
Whoop, whoop.
So you can find more of this garbage at bgfgonline.com. You can also send us an email with your questions or suggestions at bgfgshow@gmail.com. Find our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Overcast, Podcast, Castro, Castbox, Podchaser, and YouTube. Thank you for listening.
So before we go off the air, Free, I have to say, this leafy that I've been drinking every once in a while on the show, now I know why by the end of the show, I feel the way I do. It
6.4?
6.5. I'm like, wow, why am I feeling this way? I'm like 3/4 of the way done with the beer. But hey, that's what it is.
Good stuff. All right, so.
Yep, we are.